How long does it take to convert PS2 games to PSP?
Hello everyone! In today's discussion, we are going to delve into the process of converting PlayStation 2, PS2 games to play on your PlayStation Portable, PSP. The time taken for this process can greatly vary depending on the complexity of the game, the tools you're using, and your familiarity with the process.
What does converting PS2 games to PSP mean?
When we say converting PS2 games to PSP, it usually refers to the process of making a PS2 game playable on a PSP device. This involves modifying the game's data files and sometimes compressing the game's assets so they can fit and work on a PSP system. However, it's important to understand that this is a complex process and might not always work perfectly due to the significant hardware differences between the PS2 and the PSP.
What tools are needed?
Before diving into the process, you need to gather some tools. Primarily, you need a PS2 emulator for the PSP such as the PopStation, software to compress and convert game files, and a method to transfer the converted game to your PSP. Remember, the more familiar you are with these tools, the quicker the process will be.
How long does the process take?
The process of converting a PS2 game to the PSP can take anywhere from a few hours to a few days, depending largely on the size and complexity of the game, the tools you're using, and your familiarity with the process. Smaller, less complex games will take less time, while larger, more complex games could take significantly longer. This time estimate also includes any troubleshooting you might have to do to get the game working properly on your PSP.
Are there any legal considerations?
Absolutely. It's important to highlight that you should legally own any games you attempt to convert and play on your PSP. Unauthorized copying and distribution of games is piracy and is illegal in most countries. Always support the developers and publishers who create these games by purchasing them legally. That's it for today's discussion on converting PS2 games for the PSP. This is not a beginner-friendly process, and it can take a lot of time, especially for larger games. However, with the right tools and a little patience, you can enjoy your favorite PS2 games on the go with your PSP. Remember to always respect copyright laws and only convert games you legally own. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you found this guide helpful.